People talk shit about people.
People do that all the time.
They do.
Especially the better you get at shit. So it's a good sign.
Yeah, I want people to start talking shit about me.
Yeah.
Like sexually though, my sex game. I want people to be like, yo, fuck that. He ain't that good.
I feel like that was gonna be tough though.
Why?
Like, you gotta prove yourself right.
I think I could do
Like
it.
I feel like sex.
Set the bar
They're just
so
gonna
low.
believe what other people say.
Nah, but if you set the bar too low, then I can pass that. If you be like, oh, Chris out here slinging a 1-inch penis, I'm like, I at least got 2. Like, I can at least pass
If we
that.
were somewhere and I was like, yo, I heard Nick Tillelli got a vagina penis, you're just gonna believe it.
I don't know.
Maybe not a vagina.
I wouldn't know.
I was like, yo.
Well, yeah, but with that, it feels like whenever people talk shit, I'm like, why are they doing that? Like, I feel like they are jealous. Because I usually don't believe people. People who do that, I'm like, what?
See, but he is like, he will say things about me off rip and people just believe it.
Who, Chris?
Yeah. Like,
Well, yeah, because that's your buddy.
I guess. Like, he'll go to people and be like, yo, Reiter said, New Girl's better than Martin. And then other black cops will be like, fuck you. I'll be like, I never said that. That's insane.
He has said that.
I never once said it. I did say the New Girl lasted longer, but Martin is much better. I'm trying to.
Come on, where's your intro song, man?
I got an intro song, but now my article won't come up. I was going to do an intro song. Oh, that's a classic. You ready?
Am I going to know it?
Of course. She's going to know it too.
Okay.
I hope so.
We are family.
Oh.
I got fuck both of you. Well, I didn't like that reaction at all. That is a classic.
It is a classic.
Yeah.
I just didn't like your voice singing it.
Okay. That's the only song I got with the word family in it, and that's what you're gonna get.
Ah.
Can you do better?
Yeah.
Go. Boo!
I didn't even get busy. We are family. I got all my sisters in me. All my sisters. I add shit. Mine is.
He's really trying.
Whose is better?
I don't know, man.
God
I don't
damn
wanna
it.
get
Really
involved.
good at that.
I want to get in between this.
Welcome to I Can Explain That podcast, the podcast where we go through each other's internet search histories to find how terrible we are. To my right, the usual suspect. Go ahead.
All right. My name is Chris.
Oh, you're done. Oh my God. I was gonna do other shit. Yeah, that's Chris. It's Chris Bazemore.
AKA
there it is.
Boss My Poppy. AKA Thicky Smalls. AKA could be your baby daddy, but I can't afford to be.
And I'm Chris Reiter. In between us, stand-up comedian, a lady that's always fucking working in the pandemic, Espi
Dude, come on.
Rivadeneira.
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 Yeah.
River? Denaira.
Are you, okay, we're going to test it later. You're going to say it since you're so confident now.
I'm just going to say River Dancer.
I've literally already forgotten. Rivadeneira. Rivadeneira.
You are terrible.
It's just I've never heard that name ever.
So you would, if you were to marry someone with that name, you would never take that name? Because you couldn't say.
Why I'm taking somebody else's last name?
You wouldn't take someone else's name?
No.
Don't usually men take the last name. Or, I mean, women take the last name.
Yeah, but you can elect to take it if you want. If
I know two people who've taken their wives' last names.
If I marry Oprah, you think I'm going to make her be Bazemore? Hell no. I'm Winfrey from now on.
Well, yeah.
Like, I'm taking her last name.
Interesting you say that. So, what I want to talk about today, people, is the patriarchy.
All right.
What about it?
The reason I bring it up, last week we had a guest, right? And I believe he's some sort of he's not quite a first generation American, right? I know his dad's African.
I actually don't know. I should probably ask him. And that's my buddy. I should know.
Right. Espi, you are, I believe you said Argentinian.
Yeah.
And
French
and Italian.
French, yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you find sort of patriarchal structures in your family?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really good. I've really been exposed to them since coming to New York. Since I've met nothing but Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and Indians and Italians, rampant.
Yeah.
So New York.
New York. But something our guest last week said. One, he said quite a few things that I think play into this. He
Puerto Ricans. That was my
favorite.
favorite.
He pronounced it Puerto Ricans.
No.
And then when we told him it was Puerto Ricans, he's like, nah.
Oh, my God.
We would say Puerto Ricans, he'd be like, Puerto Ricans. Every time.
Damn.
Love you, Ben.
But he quoted the Bible, right? And he said, men are always giving. Adam gave his rib. That's what men do, we give. One, I don't think that's correct at all.
No, women are more giving.
Yeah. Like I can't.
I mean,
can't
well,
think of,
it depends. It depends.
Depends on
It
the
does
depends on
depend.
the
Right.
person, right? Because I've never had a woman offer to buy my food.
Yeah, but that's different.
That's giving.
I know, but I don't know. But I feel like
has
what
a woman
about
ever
like
offered to make you
mothers?
food?
Yeah, but I had to buy the food. She's like, I'll make you anything you want. And I'm like, all right, whatever you got. Like, she's like, but you gotta buy it.
I've
I'm
made
like,
food for guys.
Really?
Yeah, without them buying.
Did you say
it.
really? Like that's a crazy thing?
This has
Who
happened
are
like
you dating?
twice.
Yeah.
That's the epistemological question. Who is Chris dating? Okay, yeah. Shoulder shrug. I don't know neither. So one, I didn't quite understand that phrase. And then, well, he said something to the effect of, he can provide, right?
Yep.
And I believe the narrative of his family was that his dad was sort of the provider, but didn't really have like a direct correlation to his father. It was more so his dad provided financially, and they all had relationships with their mother, so to speak.
Yes.
Which one, as a personal anecdote, I think there's a huge separation between providing and just providing financially. There's
Right.
more to providing than just making sure you're fed and there's clothes on your back.
Sure, but you got to think about it. It's generationally.
It's a different
Correct.
time.
That's what I'm
There's a
saying.
different time.
Right.
I go work on the docks and come home and give you the money, and I'm so tired from working on the docks. I'm not doing. You worry about those kids. I'm not. Just keep them away from the door. Let me sleep. So it's a different generation of people that
Sure.
was raised under shit like that.
Hands down. And then I think the last thing that he said, he said he can provide, right? And he would want a woman, basically, he would want to have a woman to be kept. And then he said, what woman wouldn't want that?
A lot.
And that's immediately I was like, a lot of women wouldn't want that. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't want a woman who wants to be kept.
Really?
Never.
Because that sounds a little. I mean, I'm like whatever people want to do, but I just don't like that either. Well, I'm also like a comic, like a working comic, so it's like I don't know. It feels a little lame to me when I hear that. But then I'm like, then I know like my mother is like she stayed at home and did all that, so I'm like I understand it if that's what you want to do. Or if you're into that, that's fine. But I'm like, it's not for everybody by any means, especially now.
No,
Definitely not. Yeah.
Nowadays it's very different. But I do think I like the idea more than I probably would like it practically.
Why do you think you like the idea?
The idea of always coming home to a hot meal, like the traditional thing, like the traditions. There's a reason why they're traditions, right? They've been around
They
for a long
worked,
time. They
too.
worked. So it's like
But did they work?
kind of.
Well, I think a lot of women I was reading got very depressed too because they would have to be home all the time, having
picked up
kids and stuff.
drug habits
Yeah.
apparently.
So
No.
it kind of, I mean, like everyone's different.
Well, is my kids fed?
Yeah, sure.
Is she depressed?
She might be.
You got to
Oh,
talk.
that's
Nah,
a
but-
word. They do Zoom therapy now.
I could buy therapy because I'm providing.
Right.
But no,
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
don't know.
I don't really want a kept woman. I'm kidding. I like the idea of us both having a dream and going for it, or
Yeah.
living within our dream, whatever that is. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same dream
Right.
by any
Right.
means, but like both of us just living within that space of we both are pursuing something or already pursued something and continuously. I like that.
It's hard though. Like I've always thought I want kids one day, but then I keep being like, well, it's gonna have to be a lot later because I'm like, I think because I, especially as a teacher and stuff too, you need somebody to be home with the kids.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like is really important. So I'm like, I don't know. I think it's someone would have to be home, father or mother.
No.
So I'm like, I don't know.
So
With kids, it's different.
yeah, kids is very different. I think personally, I hear more stories of like people nowadays they'll quit their job essentially
Yeah.
to be home with the kids for however long and maybe try to start a business.
Man, that's
or
a
something.
huge factor in why the wage gap exists.
Sure.
One of the biggest factors into why women make less than men is because we sort of push this patriarchal narrative on families, and women were sort of pushed into the role where they stay at home and the men go blah 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 fuck all.
Gotcha. I don't know.
I mean, personally, I don't like. I would never want to date a woman who wants to be like. I need a lady who like got her own shit going on, has her own job / career, has her own friends. That's a big thing to me. You need your own peoples to hang out with. We don't need to be commingling friends. You can have your friends. I can kick it with them. I got my friends. You can kick it with them. But like, have your own shit going on.
Sure. You don't want that dependency.
Definitely.
No, because then if it doesn't work out too, that sucks.
Right.
Ugh.
Because they still come into the baby shower.
Yeah.
Just know that doesn't stop that relationship.
No.
I've been there where it's like I was cool with someone and got invited to something else after me and my ex broke up. And I'm like, I don't think I should go.
Yeah.
Like, this is your friend first out of respect.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
That's
just
good.
I'm gonna gracefully bow out. But a piece of me wanted to go so bad.
Yeah, man.
Aw, yeah,
it could have
sucks.
been fun.
Yeah.
Sucks.
But, and I was like, you know what? I shouldn't have made friends. I should have just been like cordial. Should have kept it at that point. It was, hey, how you guys? We're pleasant to be around. But I started cracking jokes. We started joke. And I was like, you know what? You can't do that in a relationship. You got to kind of have some separation.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hearing. I don't know how true this is, but I heard someone say that there's a spike in people, married couples sleeping in different beds.
Yeah. Actually, Sarah Gardner alluded to that a while back.
That could be who I heard it from.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think a part of it is the separation. I think the part of it is the independency. It's just like I just want my own thing. Like I
hate when people sleep over. Like I was with my ex for a while, but I'm like, it just gets hot, and I'm like, I need my own space.
When I was my ex-girlfriend back home in St. I had a job where I traveled a bit.
Yeah.
And like, even though we traveled to like shitty place, like I mean like podunk towns, Cleveland, Tennessee.
Oof.
Sydney, Ohio, where the only restaurant in town is a gas station. But I would still look forward to those shitty trips because I'd get a queen size bed to myself.
Yeah.
No, that's
everyone likes sleeping on their own,
right?
Because some people are like,
I sleep diagonally across the middle.
Yeah.
Me too, and I'm a big guy.
Yeah,
so
I spread eagle. Like I want my space.
I need like a shack bed. I need like some massive bed.
What, California King?
Yeah, so she can have her little space, and it could be a lot of space in between us, and I can have my own space. It's like two beds just pushed together.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people. I was like, because I like snuggling sometimes, but then at the end of the day, it's like, I gotta sleep.
Yeah,
now,
when it comes to sleep, I don't want to sleep that way. But if we're watching a movie or something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I just imagine like a normal sized man, because Espi's very tiny. Whenever he's done snuggling with Espi, he literally just lifts her up like a puppy dog and just sets her ass over there. Just stay over there. I'm done.
That's what you would do.
Just flick her off. Just ping. Just get okay. We're done. Movie's over.
Kick off the bed like a dog. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Why are you thinking this?
Because she's so small. Literally just pick her up like a duffel bag and just drop her on the other side of the bed. But I wanted to investigate sort of where the patriarchy comes from. And from what I understand, a patriarchal society has existed for most of written history.
Sure.
But not all of human history. Prior to human history, hieroglyphic or written human history, there were no patriarchal societies. It was sort of we coexisted, right? There were hunters and there were hunter-gatherers.
Yeah.
It was like a 50-50 sort of thing. Once we start getting into land, power, money, that's when
always
sort of
money.
It's always money.
It's always money.
That's when we start getting to like this sort of breakdown societally, and sort of white men take first place, and they push again this narrative where women do the child rearing, keeping the house sort of thing.
Well, I just was watching something about the Mayan people, and they had something similar to that as well, and that was BC, right?
Yeah.
So it's always been like they used to separate like once you get to like I don't know whatever they deem hunter ready.
Oh yeah, they would like.
You go to hunting school,
Right.
You go learn how to be a mother.
Right.
Well, I think I think a lot of it is like economic, which sucks.
No.
But then another part of it is literally like females like carry the baby. Cause it's like, even if you didn't want the kid, it's like, you're stuck with it, right? Like y'all could just walk away from someone, which would be awful. But it's like, that's just the truth of it is that I think a lot of it is biological too. Cause it's like, and then you have that instinct in you to like, it's funny too, because as I've gotten older, I'm like, there's like more of a need for kids in my mind, which wasn't there before. And I'm like, oh, that's just like some instinct, I think, kicking in.
I think that kind of happens to us too, in a way. I
Yeah.
don't think it's probably nearly as strong because, like, you guys,
Yeah, the biological clock.
Yeah,
Theirs
Yeah.
sounds like a cuckoo clock, and ours just
Yeah.
sounds like a grandfather.
yeah. It's like, I guess it's about time.
Yeah.
It's like,
Mine's like,
Ours
let's
is just
go.
like dong, dong, and there's like a cuckoo.
and we're just looking around like, I guess I could put a crib.
Yeah.
The
in.
women are like, let's go.
That SpongeBob meme is
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Okay,
yeah.
get up on out of here, baby."
Exactly.
But I was interested more so in, and why I brought up Ben, is sort of cultural aspects of patriarchy. They all have sort of like a common theme,
Gotcha.
but other times there's differences. Like, so Ben's dad is African. What are some of the sort of patriarchal structures that you noticed with an Argentinian dad or society?
Well, my mom's Italian too. I feel like Italian
So
and
both,
Argentinian are real similar. And then, so it felt like they did not like me doing stand up. They're like, that's not a woman's job. That's not, you know what I mean?
Women
like,
aren't
that's
funny.
You know, they were like, this could be a hobby, but they were like, you should be a teacher. You should. So it's like, and I knew my mom, especially when I was younger, she like wanted me to be a mom so bad and wanted me to like find my person young and like, so I have done none of that. But I'm like just so opposite of that, you know? It's like, but I feel like they wanted, even with my siblings and stuff too, it's like get married, men do the work. And I remember this was like pretty bad. My grandpa passed away, and then it was like with men, it's like don't be emotional. Because I remember I was crying and stuff, and then my brother was crying a lot. And my dad was like, "No, you're a man, stop." And I was like, "Dude, his grandpa just died, you know." And it's like that's not healthy.
No, that's very true. When my grandmother died, my father, I didn't want to walk in, right? Because the way that the funeral home I thought was structured was one of those, you walk in, the casket right there, like you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
It's not like in another room type thing. So, or like a light room and I can kind of peek in and see it. I didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to see it.
Sure.
So I'm outside like trying to work myself up, listening to like gangster rap.
Right.
People die every day, B. Son, shit just happens, son. Right? I was going to put like a bandana on her head. I had a whole thought process. But as I'm trying to get that together, a tear comes down, right? A single tear. Gangster tear is what I call it. And I don't know why my dad just so happened to see that. Right? And he saw it and was like, the fuck are you doing? You crying? Fuck you. Like, and he accused me in that moment of being a bitch. Say, you are a bitch. I'm like,
That's crazy to me.
And
That's so
At his
crazy.
mother's funeral.
at his mother's funeral.
Yeah.
To which I then walked up, I then in my head said, I could have just killed someone before I came here, man. You don't know what the fuck my life is. Like, I'm just emotional. And he was just like, don't be, she wouldn't want to see you that way. I'm like, I don't know how she would want to see me. I just don't think this is appropriate.
I better see some tears if I died. I would be like, I want tears. Are you kidding me?
Cry, fuckers.
Yeah.
Everybody just is fucking just there like, whoo, he is dead.
No,
Close the casket.
that's so bad for you. Because then they're all messed up. I'm like, my parents are messed up because they feel that way where it's like you don't
100%.
it's like you got to be emotional.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's tougher to be that way.
I know
it's
thugs who
hard.
won't say that they cried, even though they will use another like shedding tears. They'll be like, so you mean you cried? You're like, no, I ain't cried. I'm like, you did though.
Yeah,
Like
but-
water escaped your face. It's okay. Have
Yeah, it's
emotion.
not a
It was
big
sweat.
deal.
Yeah.
From my eyes.
My eyeballs sweat from time to time.
Isn't it Bill Burr has that bit about how men like die younger or something
Yeah.
because they don't
you
cry.
refuse to cry,
Yeah.
hug a
down.
baby,
Push
eat
it
a
down.
cookie. Yeah, push it down. I push it down
so
all the
bad.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out here with my emotions. It's out of my
that you
sleeve.
are. That you are. I'm trying to be, I'm in this weird space where I know that repressing my emotions and shit isn't good. So I'm like, I kind of got to like do it. But I think culturally, like, that's how I was taught. That's how my pops was
That's how every
probably
guy I
taught.
know I feel like is like, oh, I was taught not to, and I'm like, that's not healthy.
Yeah, no. But I do think it is a cultural thing. It was just like a sign of weakness for a oppressed group is even more of a thing. It's like,
That's true.
you crying as the king doesn't mean shit. It's like, just don't let them see you cry.
Right.
But if you're crying as already the lower than the peasant, it's like, ugh, you cry too.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it seems like it is. And I think that's why my pops is, I come from actual slaves, and I can chart it right to that. So it's like, yeah, that's why he's like, nah, don't do that.
Right.
Don't be a man, son.
You know what I found interesting in that the patriarchy sort of, it transcends cultures. It's no matter what spot on the globe, throw a dart, you'll see it. But I've noticed it sometimes in Black American cultures, even though the family narrative isn't as prevalent throughout the culture.
Explain.
Sort of. So when you think of you can say an Italian family, you think mom, dad, fence, all that good shit.
Gotcha.
You don't really see that narrative popularized besides an episode of the fucking Cosby Show where you have like that family unit. It's not a particularly popular narrative. But they still have sort of patriarchy type sayings. Like I sent you a video a while back, and this I heard the phrase from a black person: "A man is the head of the family, but the woman is the neck." Even though it's not a popular narrative for there even to be a strong family unit within the black culture. Also, I think that saying's asinine.
Sure.
Because it's supposed to be equal.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You ever had neck pain? That shit. That shit's pretty bad,
yeah,
guys.
it's not great. But it's such a cultural thing, too,
Right.
where it's just, then you see it on TV and like, you know, because then it's like, it's not only the family that's carrying that. Then it's like, oh, what are we watching on the news or TV and all that? And you see that and it's like.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's oof.
You see it constantly.
Yeah, you can't get. I know people who really don't cry. I have a friend who really is just like.
It's not good.
Yeah,
when people
man.
tell me that, I'm like, you're like a
Me?
sociopath. You don't cry?
No.
I just haven't cried in a long time.
How long?
Oh, okay. It was 2021. It's not like that I go out of my way not to cry.
When was I born?
When that doctor slapped me.
Sure.
It's not that I like go out of my way to cry. It's just things don't hit me.
I don't go out of my way. My grandmother passed. That was the last thing.
I
feel like it was reasonable too.
No, not you. As me.
But I'm just saying people.
Sure. I don't remember the last time I cried. I think, and like also like put parameter on cry. I've welled up a couple of times, but I haven't had like a full on cry in a long time.
What is a cry?
To me, like, you know, tears coming down your face. You ain't got to moan like you sound like a ghost.
Well, first of all, if you cry like that, that's a different.
That's why I don't cry. It's embarrassing. I'm talking like tears coming streaming down
I
your
cry
face.
so much.
Do you really?
I wish I
yeah.
cried more often.
It feels good though, but
Yeah,
it feels
that's what
like
I'm
it's
trying to
like
get to.
I've
it's
cried
like,
in dreams.
it's like going to the bathroom. You gotta let it out. You know?
I don't think it's quite like the bathroom.
This bitch, she cried when she peed. No wonder she's so dehydrated. She's always leaking liquids.
She should
No,
be
you
normal
gotta-
size. She's crying all the way.
She is shrinky dinked because she always
I
crying.
think we need to try that. We'll lose so much weight. That's why we so big.
something to make me cry.
I'm gonna kick
No,
a
you
dog.
gotta. I feel like I'm very emotionally. It's funny because I'm in therapy, right? My therapist is like, you're like a therapist's dream because you're so in touch with all your stuff. You know exactly how you feel. You're very honest. Like because you know.
I thought a therapist's dream was rich. I mean, someone with a lot of money.
But nobody's like, you're really in touch. And I'm like, I think it's because, but then for a long time, like when I was drinking, I was pushing everything down because I wouldn't cry. And because my family is mostly like men, you know, and then I have a lesbian sister. So it was like, oh, be tough, be this kind of way.
Gotcha.
And so then the past couple of years, I've become more feminine. But it took a while.
It's just funny to me. It's like a couple years, I was just like in touch with my feminine side. It's like, all right, this is just who I am, I guess. Gotta cry
Came
now.
out to my parents as feminine because I've been a girl my whole life. It took a while.
They didn't know.
When was the last time you cried? Like a healthy cry, not just welling up.
Shit,
An actual cry.
I don't know.
He's like, when my grandma died.
Yeah, he's like, I just said that
I
shit.
didn't even. I just teared up, and then when he said what he said, I was like, "You're right. I'm being a bitch."
Really?
Damn.
Yeah.
What year was that?
1993.
When was Nixon in office?
That was Nam. That was him.
No, it was probably 2010.
Oh my
2011.
God.
I've died. I've cried more recently than that. I think it was an ABC show called A Million Little Things.
Man, if you don't get the fuck out of my face.
The series premiere is a funeral, and I just was not ready for that. That got me. That was just really good acting.
Got you. I did Well, when I was working, I used to work at a wine store. I had like an existential thing.
I didn't know how this story was gonna start at all. Like I thought there was gonna be like a death, or like you lost something. It starts off at a winery. Wait a minute.
So yeah, drinking. But I had this existential thing, and I teared up a little bit more recently, where it was a funeral home across the street from the wine store, and I would go outside sometimes because I did deliveries as well. And I would look at that place and be like, damn, we all gonna be there one day type shit.
And you were drunk?
I mean, I've had a few. and a little tear came out, like, and I was like, yo, man the fuck up. Beat death. That's what I told myself.
I just imagine you trying to serve wine after like, this is a Malbec. And it goes really good with your fish.
It would be so funny if he was like plastered and he thought he only cried a little bit, but in reality he's like sobbing. He's like, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, your coworkers were like, he broke down that day actually. We called an ambulance.
We're like, what's
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Must have came and just stuck me with something.
Sometimes I try to make myself cry. Like I watch the ones that always get me, like they get me to well up a little bit, but then nothing ever happens. Is I watch those soldiers surprising their family videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Those are like, there's always so happy and emotional, and I feel the tears coming, and then like so it's like having whiskey dick but with tears.
Sad. Do you think? I always wonder. I'm like, do you think there's like a biological thing where women do just cry more because if like we have to, or is it? I've always wondered.
I think it's that you've been allowed to.
Yeah, I just think there's no boundaries on yours. You can just be free.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could just run around.
Well, not really, because then I feel like there's that also patriarchal thing where like if you're too emotional, people will be like, oh, you're crazy.
You're a crazy girl who cries all the time.
Because people have done that to me before, and I'm like, I'm not crazy. I just feel
What
stuff.
were you doing when they called you? What were you doing when they called you crazy?
Like how emotional I am, where it's like I cry a lot, or
Yeah, that's not crazy. I mean, unless it's like for everything. Like literally everything.
No, but I think my parents too. Well, I think I
just found
grew
the
up
coupon.
where it's like, no.
We're gonna get corn. If it's that, then yeah. Then
No.
But
no.
I think people.
Well, I think in my
stupid.
family too, they're like, don't. Even with me, they were like, it's not good to cry and stuff. Like,
Gotcha.
or it's not good. I remember like when my drinking problem was really bad, and I was like, I'm gonna go to therapy. They thought therapy was bad. I really thought that for a while. I was like,
Really?
therapy's bad, and like it's for like bitches, you know, and like
That's
because
what
I
he
didn't want to
thinks,
go. I kind of was forced into it by a couple of my friends. And I was like, I'm not doing this because this isn't going to be good. Da, da, da. And then after I was like, wow, this is
great.
Great, yeah.
It's like the first time I got a pedicure. At first I was like, nah, that's for bitches. The guy, I was like, no, this is great.
Yeah, then you were gliding on those new feet, boy.
I didn't even want to touch the floor for a while.
I've never had one.
You're not in touch with your
I
friends.
remember my last cry. My last cry was actually last year.
What happened?
I was watching Grey's Anatomy.
If you don't grow the fuck up.
But have you watched Grey's Anatomy?
I haven't.
Oh.
Is it about that time?
Okay, the episode of Grey's Anatomy, O'Malley's dad dies. It is so sad. That's why I cried.
You're really like, I feel like you're very empathetic. You watch people go
That's
through
probably,
stuff.
It might be.
Do you deal with your own stuff, or do you do that to like distract yourself?
I deal with my own stuff from a logical standpoint. Like I never deal with, I don't want to say issue, but I never deal with a situation from an emotional point. I always deal with it logically. If I say that to Mallory Bryan, that's just your Virgo brain.
That's mostly, I feel like men do that more, where women are like feel stuff, and the men are like, this is how I fix the problem.
That's because we make more than you. So
Wow.
they just,
I just like flip the table over. And I'm like, all right.
This is why I cry.
Insane.
Open your phone.
All right.
You want to go through mine as well?
Yeah, we're gonna use Safari. Which app do you use?
Yeah.
Thank God you're an Apple user.
Oh God.
I
They're the
hate when
first
we
ones.
Oh, mine is crazy.
So I didn't even go through her history. This is a page that says up. Toxic shock syndrome.
Yo, that should be happening. That shit happens to the best of us, man.
Well, explain to me what toxic TSS is.
Do you not know?
I have a vague understanding of what it is. Yep, there it is. That's okay. It's correct.
It's if you like leave a tampon up there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you know
Or
you can get
condom.
really sick. A condom?
I've heard.
Really?
stories.
Oh yeah, I've heard of condoms too.
Well, that shit gets stuck up there.
The lady who from that '70s show who just died. Actually,
That's how she died?
she died of a UTI.
Urinary tract infection.
Because the infection can move to your vital organs, your kidney, and that's what it moved to like her livers and shit. Her liver and gallbladder. And
She got
all that
multiple livers? That's probably
Shut
why
up.
she died. And she had several livers. I'm pretty sure her body.
Oh
forget how
God,
to
now
work
I'm
the,
nervous. I'm like, what is? I forgot
You
what my
looked
history
up-
I mean,
was.
she just left pages up.
How-
Jaywalking. Oh what?
How long was Flo in Progressive?
Bruh, she's been there since 2008.
I wonder how much she's worth.
She's worth $6 million according to Forbes.
That's what you looked up too. I saw that. So that's why
She's up there.
$6 million and
All right, hold on. I got to get to
Damn,
Elsie's
now I'm
thing.
nervous. I don't remember what I've been looking
Because this
up.
afternoon she did the toxic shock thing. She also Googled lips keep twitching.
Yeah, it's because I think I'm either drinking too much coffee.
Stop.
Or
She had a coffee here. She's been talking about espresso.
she's been talking about
I'm having like
Americanos.
heart palpitations. All right, it's fine.
Please don't die.
She asked Google how to reverse gray hair.
That's a good one. Did you get something on that?
No, I don't think
I could use that one.
Oh God, now I'm worried. I don't remember if I was looking at porn or anything.
Oh
It
no,
doesn't
well
matter.
that'll be great if you were. You'd be the first lady. Angina. You're having so many heart. Stop drinking coffee.
She's
She
so
Googled
concerned.
heart attack symptoms.
Yeah, I've done that before. I remember once I took a Viagra and I didn't think it hit. My heart felt funny. I was like, "Oh Lord, I don't want to die with a hard dick like this." I didn't want to die like that. But what made it worse, I still wanted to fuck.
I'm all about her. Okay, so she Googled Lay's potato chips in bulk.
That's gonna be the heart attack too.
I'm all worried now.
Back up. Wait, but why would you? You're a vegan. You can have Lay's Classic,
Yeah, it's just potato chips.
and you want them in bulk.
Yes.
Why wouldn't I want them in bulk?
I don't know. Fasting and euphoria. What does that mean?
All right. So I'm trying to write a bit about like this is dark. All you guys know my material is pretty dark.
No.
So I used to drink a lot, but before that I had like a pretty bad eating disorder. So I'm trying to write jokes about it because I know it's like, but I'm trying to write about how it's like if you don't eat for long enough, it's like a drug because it's a real thing. But like I don't know a lot of people know that.
It feels like it. I mean, I know a little bit. I know a thing or two about it.
You Googled dreams about puppies.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a dream about a puppy the other day.
So did I.
It's dope. But what was your puppy?
It was a German Shepherd puppy.
No, I had a bitch ass puppy. I had like a Pomeranian, and like
No, I'm nervous.
I kind of stole it.
I'm gonna give him a spin in it. You can give her
My
mine
palms
if
are
you
getting
like.
sweaty.
Knees
Wait, are we
weak,
going-
arms are heavy. Ha!
Who's this?
Chris wanted to ask the internet if they masturbated in medieval times.
I think that's a good question.
Whose is this?
This is mine.
That's yours. Wall Street. Yours is pretty like intellectual.
Mine is mostly just the news.
Yeah.
I doom scroll the news every day.
Bluetooth earbuds. I hear that. I can respect it.
How long can
Air
one go to
fryer.
jail for stealing organs, Chris?
I didn't look that.
Yes, you did.
I also looked up the price of organs. That's more. That's what you need to be clicking. Did you know skin? They give you $10 for an inch of skin in the
Is that a
streets.
lot? I feel like my skin's worth more.
Think about it.
An inch.
is like
That's not
that.
good. I would want a lot more money for an inch of skin.
But if you're taking someone else's,
Why are you taking skin?
Oh yeah, probably should lead with that question. Why are you taking skin?
I'm not taking
Do you
skin.
get like wholesale if you get like a whole body? Like Wild Bill?
Nah,
from,
I was looking at a all right. I was looking at this. All right.
He's like, I've killed 3 people.
I was looking at this sex tourism documentary, and there's like one of the other big worries besides like not getting paid or getting beat up by like Johns is being kidnapped and sold. And I was like, oh shit, they out here stealing body parts and stuff. So I wanted to know why and how much. A heart is $1 million.
Really?
Holy crap.
A kidney is like over 250, 200.
50K.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. So 2 kidneys is $500. I mean,
I'm about to sell my
$500.
kidney.
That's a fact. I was thinking about selling a big toe. They didn't tell me how much a big toe costs.
What's Chess the battle rapper?
Yeah, that's a guy.
And he's dead?
No, but I
Okay.
thought he could have been. I thought he could have. Get your ass out of here. Get your ass
Yours
out
is all. Yours is not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, his isn't
I'm
fun.
the straight
Yours is-
man on this podcast.
And mine is, yeah, oh, you
Mine's
went-
like my tax deductions that are coming up.
oh, you should.
Yeah, you snatch away before I can get to anything. But BTS horror movie, conjoined twin surgery,
Yo, son,
just the word heist.
Heist.
get that back from you. Because there's a lot of incriminating things. Stealing body parts, doing heists. Conjoined twins. Did you know they existed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to call them Siamese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know the story why?
Why? What?
Because they was racist back in the day. They just was like the first people. They kind of like they toured these motherfuckers. It was like these twins from wherever that makes you Siamese.
Sure.
And that's where that term Siamese twins come from. Because they was just like, oh, this is just a Siamese thing.
Oh.
Damn.
And they toured them around. It was like a freak show thing because they would
This
join.
back.
Did you ever see a surgery of conjoined twins?
No.
It's fucking, that almost made me cry. It was these two kids, and then like they was connected by the head, and they undid it, and they got to look at each other for the first time.
Wow.
And I was like, it's gangster, son.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
That's the-
amazing.
Like it was cool. The surgeons had 28 hours of surgery.
God, that's gotta be
Yeah.
stressful.
You know how I found that out? Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, how much
What's
coffee?
up?
How much coffee you think they was drinking?
Ugh.
I
But
met
you can't drink in the OR.
shit.
Why?
There's
Shit,
nothing allowed in the OR.
shitting me. I be in
Nothing.
there.
Well, they
If you
they
drink
have to
coffee, you have
leave,
to like
right?
tag out. Yeah, you have to leave.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Can you imagine spilling coffee in somebody?
That's what I was about to say. I'll probably spill it.
Actually, there's
Oh, this is too hot. I'm sorry.
there's a statistic where people actually leave like medical material in people's bodies,
That's a fact.
Oh my God.
cloths and scissors and shit.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But here, back in her Google, are fanny packs good for running?
No, it has to
Because I
hit your.
need something though, because I carry all my stuff.
Put it in your you know those arm patches.
I don't have
The
one.
arm things. I think they're pretty cheap.
Usually just big enough for like a phone. You probably like
Oh.
holding like your keys.
I got my keys, my phone. I got mace.
Mace is important. You ever been maced?
Yes,
By who?
my brother. We didn't know what the thing was on our mother's keys, and he sprayed it into my hand, and I smelled the pepper.
Why?
It wafted,
it
and then
came-
I had to sneeze, and I was like 5.
Oh my God.
And I went to sneeze, and I sneezed into the hand he had just put mace into.
That's not good.
Yeah, no, that was I had to sit.
Were you like? Could you not see?
No, because I sneezed into I put it over my
Oh
mouth.
my God. You probably couldn't breathe.
So my mouth just burned, and I had to sit. Basically, the remedy for that was to sit in a bowl of ice water for like 40 minutes.
Damn. That's awful.
That's a lot. Well, I appreciate you guys. I think it's about that time. Espi, let them know. Just so you know this, her name is Espi Rivadeneira.
Rivadeneira. Yeah. You got it.
That's what I was gonna say.
No, he wasn't.
That was
He was gonna say River
Rivadeneira.
Dancer. He was gonna say River Dancer.
no, it wasn't.
Just think about it. Like, River Dinero. Dinero, but
Dinero.
That's what I
Yeah.
said.
but with an
Rivadeneira.
A.
I got it.
So,
Booyah.
give them your social medias. Let the people know. where they can
At
find you.
espionage921.
Follow us. Very funny and very talented.
And buy her art.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
buy her art.
please.
And buy her art from me. Break the patriarchy. If you're a female out there, break the
Yeah.
patriarchy.
I forgot
and
we
buy
talked
me
about
art. See what I'm fucking brilliant. And they call me Ball Spot Poppy, aka Biggie Smalls.
No, they don't.
Stop. Thank you guys for listening.
Peace out.